Hey everybody, wanted to start off this video by saying I appreciate all your all support and helping me get to over 10,000 subscribers. Honestly, after I reached 1,000 subscribers, I haven't worried too much about the subscriber count, but that number needs to continue to grow in order to help the channel to grow as far as its monetization, because the more, I don't know, really the subscriber count don't matter a whole lot, but it does help get you recognized by sponsors and stuff. But the thumbs ups on the videos is what I really need help with. If you can give me some thumbs ups, likes on the video, I'd really appreciate that. That helps promote it to more people and the more watch time, and that kind of helps increase revenue on the videos, which helps encourage me to continue to do the videos. It's getting a little hard to find time to reply to all the comments the way I'd like to. So if I don't leave you a very good reply on the comment, I apologize for that. That's one of my biggest time constraints, and the thing, you know, it's not just the new videos I put out. I'm getting comments on a daily basis from previous videos and things, and it's becoming a lot to keep up with. But I'm going to continue to do my best to reply to everybody, especially if you ask a question. I will definitely put a heart on it and try to put a thank you or something. And I appreciate the comments. I love to read the comments. I read every comment and things, but it's kind of getting to where it's hard sometimes to reply to all of them. I'm a little slow doing that. I used to be a lot better. But appreciate all of you. I do want you to know that and what you do for me, and the ones of you that's been with me so long watching the channel means a whole lot. But let's get started on today's video. Tonight's video, I guess, or tonight when I'm filming it. But what I'm wanting to do, I'm going to do a two-part video. I'm going to tell you about the things I like about the John Deere 5E series, and I'm going to tell you some things that I don't like. I've been debating on whether to start off with the likes or the dislikes. I don't know what would be best. I think I'll start off with the things I do like about it, and then I'll go over in the next video some things that I don't like about it. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about, and the thing I like most about this 5E John Deere, is the 3-point hitch geometry. And what I'm talking about by that is how long the bottom 3-point lengths are in relation to where the top link mounts on the tractor and the length of the top link itself. All that plays into how well the tractor lifts, how easy it hooks up to the machine or the attachments, and overall lift strength. But the thing I like about the John Deere, and I'm going to compare this to my Kubota M series a lot when I'm talking in these videos, because even though this is a little bit smaller category tractor, the 5045, horsepower wise versus the M6060, they are in the comparable frame size tractor range. Like if you got a 5060E now, which is the newer ones, or a 5067E, whatever, that would be like the M6060, you're getting the same frame size tractor as this 5045. It's just a little different horsepower rating. So that's why I'm going to compare it to the M series Kubota. But this tractor has a really good lift height, like this grapple, for example, or a bush hog or anything. It lifts very high off the ground compared to the Kubota, and I love that. That's the one, probably one of my biggest gripes on the Kubota M series, is the 3-point hitch does not lift high enough. And this one is set up excellent in that category. Another thing in relation to the 3-point hitch is the draft control. The draft control on this John Deere works as good as a older Ferguson system draft controller, almost as good. I've always plowed with that 245 and a 135 Massey Ferguson because they have a superior draft control to any tractor out there, in my opinion. But this John Deere is very, very compatible to it as far as how the draft works on it. Really like that setup. As far as how it lifts and all that, the sway bars are nice. I do like the sway bars on the Kubota a little bit better with the random pinholes, but you can fine-tune this one a little more to where you take more slop out of the 3-point hitch if you want that. But the Kubota is a little easier to adjust with the square tube. The remote valves are located pretty well, like those. The dipstick's up high, out of most of the dust and debris. It's up here for the hydraulic oil. The Kubota does have some external lift cylinders that the John Deeres don't have on the 3-point, but the John Deere seems to have a good lift strength, so it doesn't really take away anything from the tractor on that aspect. One thing that this series tractor, the 5045s, they don't come with an extendable lower link, and the Kubota does, but once you move up into the higher size tractors, the higher number sizes, they put extendable lower links on them, and they could be added onto this one if needed. But the PTO hooks up nice. The drawbar where it's located, like everything on the back of this tractor, is pretty well perfected. You also have a bigger pin here where your top link connects. A Category 2 style top link pin, where the Kubota has a Category 1 top link pin, which has never made any sense to me because on the attachment end it has a Category 2 top link pin. So I don't know why they don't put Category 2 on both ends on the Kubota tractors. Got a nice heavy square rear end. I mean, pretty good setup as far as I'm concerned on all that. Of course, this is a 2-wheel drive version. My Kubota M Series is a 4-wheel drive, so I'm not comparing them in relation to that. But this has a very heavy-duty front axle for a 2-wheel drive tractor compared to any other 2-wheel drive I've owned, and I've owned a lot of 2-wheel drive tractors over the years. If you put a loader on this tractor, you're not going to have to worry about that front end causing you any problems. It's easy to widen or narrow down. I've actually widened it out a little bit wider since I've had it, and that was easy, simple to do, which I like. Like stuff that works well. Another thing is the steering linkages on the back side of the axle. That's a big thing you hear a lot of people talk about. Kubota's on the front. I have never hit one on the front on the Kubota, but all this is beefy, set up, pretty well protected from any kind of damage. Of course, you could hit it backing up if you're not paying attention as to what you're doing. I think right here is probably one of the most impressive features of this John Deere, in my opinion, versus the Kubotas, is they have this turbo intercooler on them, which I think is a pretty neat setup, because all your bigger trucks and things that's turbocharged has an air-to-air intercooler, and I think that's nice to cool you turbocharged air before it goes back into the engine itself to be reburnt. Of course, the newer John Deeres, they don't have a diesel particulate filter. They have a new catalyst type system. But this particulate filter on this tractor, it regened at 100 hours for the first time. Or at least that's the first time we ever noticed it doing it. The Kubotas, they'll do it every 15 to 20 hours depending on how you run them and the temperatures outside. Which is better? I don't know. You know, the Kubota might clean out better and more frequently by doing it more frequently, but you're also heating your engine and exhaust up pretty hot on a more common, common sequence. where this is not doing that. I don't know if there's any advantage or disadvantage to that, but just something I thought I would mention while we was under the hood. Alright, we're up here on the operator station now, and I'm going to show you some things that I like at the operator station. I think one of the biggest things I like is it's got a very good park feature on this gear shift. On the 8-speed Kubotas, they have no park feature. They have a locking foot brake. I do wish the John Deere had a locking foot brake and the park feature, but the park feature is pretty nice and seems to work well, and I have never had it to lock like on a steep hill or under a pressure to where I couldn't get it out. I've heard some other people talking about on some New Hollands and things where it would stick in park and they'd have a hard time getting it out when the tractor was on a slope or it got under some pressure. So if any of y'all have had any experience with them getting hung up in park, let me know, but so far so good with this one. I like the throttle control right here on the fender. It is very easy to set and adjust, and you can just use your thumb to up and down the throttle when you're in the field. I think that's a nice setup. That's something Dad's mentioned that he likes as well. Nice little spot here. I like to lay my phone in there, cup holder and things. You know, the 3-point lift controls are in a nice location. I like the 3-speed, 3-range transmission with 3 speeds. The 4-speed 3-range transmission might be a little better, but I found this one to have a gear about every place you want it. And like mowing hay, most of the time with the hills we have here, I'll mow in 3rd gear B range, I think. And then if I get on a place that it starts bogging down, I go to 2nd, and it'll pretty well pull any hill in 2nd B range. So I'm not having to switch between ranges. Occasionally in a good field, I'll mow 1st gear in C range, but that's few and far between. Reverse in B range is a good speed, and it's a nice B range is a good setup for most operations that they put this tractor through. Box blading, any of that, it just works out very nice. On the Kubota, sometimes I'll have to go like on a steep hill. I'm mowing 1st high. Sometimes in a really steep place, I'll have to go to low range 4th gear, or same way with baling. And that's a little bit aggravating having to change ranges. If you can change gears in the same range, I don't mind it, but when you have to change ranges and a gear, that gets a little bit aggravating at times. But the way this one's set up with a shifter on each side, you can pretty well once you get used to it, you can shift here ranges and gears at the same time. The Kubota I do like that has both shifters on this side, but in that case, sometimes it'd be nice to have the high-low range on the other side, but that's really not that big of a deal. But I do like the 3-range, 3-speed transmission. It's just a good gearing on this 5045E, in my opinion. I also like the instrument cluster on this tractor. It's plain, easy to see, simple, no bells and whistles to it, but it gets the job done. Tractor's got 133.8 hours right now. Been pretty, it's not a lot of hours for a summer's use, but it's been used quite a bit considering there's 4 other tractors getting used, in our little operation. I also like the heat sequence. This thing really don't, as far as the preheating, it's got more of a grid style heater like a Cummins does in a pickup, versus glow plugs. I like that setup. It's pretty nice, I think, and it does it according to the temperature, the ambient temperature in around the machine. But overall, the tractor I've been very impressed with. We was worried where it's a bigger frame size tractor and only having, I actually think they have 50 horsepower. There are 50-45, but I actually think they have 50 engine horsepower in this series, in this later model tractor. But it's not underpowered at all. I thought it would be, but it's not. It's as long as you keep the engine above 1,500 RPMs, it does well. Like a Perkins engine on them Massey Fergusons, you can lug them and they'll keep pulling. This tractor won't lug. But as long as you keep it above 1,500 RPMs, it'll keep pulling. And I do like that. I like them to lug too, but you know, these tractors with that emission stuff, you shouldn't be lugging them anyways. That's not good for them. Heavy frame, heavy axles. Pretty nice overall machine. It's performed and done about anything, you know, we've asked it to do. So, if you have a 5E series John Deere, let me know in the comments what you like about it in this video. Next video, we're going to talk about things I don't like. There's more things on this tractor I dislike than they are the Kubota M series, which you'll understand what I'm talking about when we get to it. But I'm curious to see if any other people have complaints on the same issues that that I've had with this tractor. Not really issues as far as trouble, but things that I think could be improved without much added expense to them. And even the newer series that started out this year, like the 50/50s and stuff, they've not changed much at all as far as the layout of the tractor. And these same things that I dislike will apply to those tractors as well. You'll understand them later, so be sure and tune in to that video when it comes out. But give me a thumbs up on this one, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If you have one of these tractors, let me know what you like about them. Then the next video, you can tell me what you dislike about them, and if you agree or disagree with the things that I'm going to discuss. But as always, I appreciate you watching, and hopefully we'll get some weather to where we can get out and do some work. Just not been much chance to do anything here recently. But we will talk to you later.